Hey everybody, welcome to Lesson from the Cockpit. Let's get started. Hey everybody, welcome to Lessons from the Cockpit. I'm Belinda Sandor, and I'm excited to have you here with me today as we discover all about how to really get your business off the ground. And let me just get organized for a minute. I was doing what I was practicing what I was preaching just a minute ago. I was deeply engrossed in a project I was working on that I blocked time out for, and this kind of snuck up on me. So come on in, welcome. So for those of you who are joining us for the first time, I'm Belinda Sandor. I'm the founder of the VA Connection, where I coach and mentor aspiring and established virtual assistants on how to create, grow, and scale their businesses. And I work with my students in my free online community, my courses, and my coaching programs. And today I'm going to be your host for Lessons from the Cockpit, which is my weekly live stream show that airs every Tuesday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern. And I'm going to share both tactical and practical advice for your VA business in each episode. So tell me where you're coming in from in the comments. I can see you guys heading on in, and I would love to hear who's here. So please let me know. So we are streaming everywhere. We are on LinkedIn. We are on Facebook, all over the place on Facebook. We are on YouTube, and we are on Twitter. Now, if you're watching from YouTube, I would love to have you click the subscribe button, ring the bell so you don't miss out on a training. We have over 700 videos on our YouTube channel right now, and it's growing every single week. So be sure to subscribe and join us over there. Okay, good. So today we're going to talk about how to create a successful virtual assistant business, and specifically we're going to talk about what gets in the way and how we can overcome that. So I'm glad you're here with us today. So Julie is here, Rose is here, Heather, hello, good morning, and Danielle is here so far. Let me know the rest of you who are here in the comments, all right? And also, if you have any questions throughout this live stream, please put them in the chat. I would love to answer them. And George is here from North Carolina. Good morning. Yes, good morning. So let me just take a minute to introduce myself. This is me and my daughter, Emily, back in 2010. And I was just starting my my virtual assistant business. And I was not where I wanted to be or where I expected to be. It was kind of an interesting time. I was struggling quite a bit, and I'd been struggling for a while. I just had my head down so much, meaning I was working hard trying to be successful, but I wasn't paying attention to what was going on around me, and everything was sort of crumbling. So here I am. I'm about to turn 50, and I have a failing business. I'm getting divorced. I have to sell my home. I haven't paid the mortgage in over a year. I don't have a job. It's like all the things. It's like this perfect storm of disaster. And I had to figure out how to get back on track for a couple of reasons. The main reason was, I wanted to be able to take care of my daughter, Emily, and provide for her. And I didn't want her to have to struggle. That was the main thing. It's like, for me, it was funny at 50, I kind of felt like, well, all right, so I've really, made a mess of this. I'm probably not going to be able to turn it around, but I needed to turn it around for her. The idea of her struggling, working hard is one thing, struggling is something else. That's really something else. And I didn't want that for her. So I returned to my roots. I knew that getting a job, even making, $80,000 a year, it wasn't going to cut it. I wasn't going to be around for Emily. I wasn't going to be home because, jobs, especially my roots were in admin, and admin is, when you're in corporate, it's kind of turned into this 24/7 craziness. And I knew that wasn't going to work. So I decided to go out on my own. I had been temping for a little bit, and I thought, well, the temp agencies are making way more than I'm making. What if I went, what if I could create this direct route directly to the clients? So a successful fellow entrepreneur told me the best way to start a business is to tell everyone you know. And that's what I did. I just started telling everyone I knew. And one morning at the school bus stop, one of the dads said, "What's new?" And I said, "I started a business." And I told him about it. And we ended up working together. And here's the funny thing. This really cracks me up. And I love to hear in the comments if you would have done the same thing. But so I thought that the dad had a job. So I told him about the business because I thought, there's no risk here. He's not ever going to work with me and whatever. And then he told me that he had started his own business and he was drowning in administrative work. And that's why he hired me. Now, the thing that's so funny is that if I had known he had started a business, it's likely I wouldn't have told him, because I would have thought, the chicken chatter would have started and I would have thought that he thought that I wanted something for him, or I was trying to get hired. How crazy is that? So I probably wouldn't have been able to get my first client if I had known he was a business owner. So tell me if you've ever done something like that, like decided not to tell someone about your business because you're afraid of what they're going to think. All right. The second client I met at a wedding in the buffet line. So I didn't have a card. I didn't have a business name, all the things. I got his business card. I connected with him on LinkedIn the next day, which for whatever reason felt like I was asking him to marry me. I'm serious, you guys. I was I was just so afraid of what everybody was thinking about me. And so he contacted me a few weeks later and we ended up working together. We're still working together today. So the takeaway here for you is don't spend your time prospecting, right? Don't spend your time prospecting, trying to figure out who needs a VA and who doesn't, and putting your name up on bulletin boards and all the things. Yeah, so Danielle says, I've definitely done that, right? It's crazy. So here's someone who actually needs something that we offer. We're a solution to their problem, potentially. And instead of just saying, oh yeah, I'm doing admin work, I'm a virtual assistant, we don't say anything. And then the connection isn't made, and then the relationship can't begin. So take a lesson from me. Tell people, all right? Tell people. Now, there's a ton of information on this over at the blog, so be sure to check it out. We're just about to publish our 200th post, and I think it's going to be in 2 weeks. I think we are on issue 198 right now. It's our newsletter, and it also goes on our blog. So go check it out. It's thevaconnection.com/blog, or you can just click blog up in the navigation, but it's all categorized over there by topic, and there is a wealth of information. So don't skip that. All right, so we're going to fast forward. So I leaned in. I seriously leaned into this. I changed my mindset a little at a time. I started keeping my word to myself. That was enormous because I was very slippery back then. I would say something, I was going to do something at midnight the night before. I'll do that tomorrow. It's going to be the first thing I do. It's going to be great. And then at 8 o'clock in the morning, all of a sudden I'm not doing it. Right. So I stopped doing that and I stepped out of my comfort zone. In order to build a successful business and to change your life, you have to change. You have to change. You have to start doing things differently. It doesn't just happen automatically. And the first year I was in business, I created $70,000 of work from clients. And for the next 10 years, I generated $100,000 every single year for the next 10 years. All right. The systems I developed and the methods that I use to create my own virtual assistant business are exactly what I teach at the VA Connection, and I would love to teach you too. So let's hit the fast forward button. We're going to hit it a couple more times, but today's a different picture. This is what my life looks like 13 years later. My finances are handled. There's no minimum payments. I have a thriving business that I built one day at a time, and I was there for my daughter as she grew up, and I feel like I can breathe again. I married the man. No kidding, you guys. I've been looking for this guy since I was probably 20 years old. I was looking for a station wagon driving, kids in the back of the car, Christmas tree on the roof, kind of guy. And that's exactly who I married at 60. And these are all of his boys. And this is my daughter, Emily. And this was our wedding day in 2021. So if you're ready, we can get started helping you too. But before we do, I want to show you the newest thing. So we bought this house on January 29th. We're in the process of moving into it. And this, when I was 50 and I'm selling my home, I'm thinking I'm going to rent for the rest of my life. I'm never going to be able to own a home. And Greg was kind of thinking that too. Divorce kind of wipes you out. And we both had, kids and, debt and all the things. And so this is really a dream come true. And we're moving over the next 3 weeks. We'll be finally in place, and it's amazing. We go there, and we've been there every weekend for quite a while now, since we closed, and we just walk around and we're like, this is our house, it's our house, we're going to live in this house, and we just can't believe it. And every surface needs like TLC, every single surface, but we're going to do it together, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And I can't wait to get started on it. So, if you think it's too late, I became a homeowner at 62, and I'm going to be fully moved in right after I turn 63. So it's not too late, but you have to keep your eye on the prize. You have to keep your eye on the prize. So let's talk about how to do that. All right. Let's talk about how to do that right now. Now, in order to create a successful business, you must schedule time to work on your business several times a week, every single week. And you have to stick to your plan no matter what else in your life is going on. I understand how difficult that can be. I'm going through that right now, where I have, movers coming on Thursday to move the furniture. I've got to empty everything out. There's stuff everywhere. I have plants. We just have some kind of ant infestation. I have no idea where they're coming from, but I'm going to figure it out. There's artwork that needs to be wrapped up that I'm traveling with in the car. We're trying to figure out the chickens. There's a full-time job happening here. However, I am committed that we're going to open enrollment to VA school again in April, which means that today and tomorrow, I have to get everything ready to start welcoming people into our Kickstart group on Facebook and launch the next round of excitement. So that's gonna happen, and VA school is going to continue, and the VIP club, and all the other things that are going on. And I'm going to do this using one simple tool, which is more than one. I'm going to schedule everything. I'm going to do what I say I'm going to do. And I'm going to do it when I said I'm going to do it. So it's really easy. This morning, I was very distracted by the whole thing. And I'm waiting for a call back from the movers in Virginia. And it's just easy to start wandering around the house and not doing anything. However, I have some deadlines. So here's what I do. I write down, but by the end of the day, this is what I'm getting done. Like, no kidding. I also take care of myself by eating good food, and I walk 4 miles at least every single day, lately on the treadmill because I'm doing it at night when I get to it. But the thing is that you have to do all of that. You have to do all of that, because in order to, you're really setting yourself up for a marathon, not a sprint, right? You have to work on your business every single week, and it varies, the amount varies, but to have a healthy, happy, thriving business, you can't just, get a couple of clients, focus completely on them and forget about it, because it won't be sustainable. All right. Now so I want you to block time on your calendar, close the door, turn off the phone, silence your notifications on your computer, and tell anyone that is sharing your workspace not to interrupt you. Please don't interrupt me. I'll be finished. Tell them what time, and focus on what is most important in your business. And we're going to talk about what those things are in a minute. Now, the tendency, and I see this over and over, there were several people who decided not to sign up for VA school this time around because they wanted to go learn some skills first. If you are serious about being a virtual assistant and you're serious about being successful, that is table setting. We talked about table setting during the training, where you push around the fork and the spoon and you move the mug and you get new whatever, but you never really get out there. And learning new skills, it's called procrastinating, right? It's called procrastinating, because how you're going to actually learn new skills is by using them, not reading a book or not studying up or trying them. You're going to use them. And the skills that you need to set up your business, the things that I teach you how to set up, are the things that you're likely going to do for clients. Now, here's the other thing. When you work with clients, you don't want to lead with skills. You want to lead with availability. And I just thought about that this morning. So it's not about, people are specifically looking for help in certain areas, but you can't anticipate that. You can't anticipate that. But what you can anticipate is that other service-based, which is what you are as a VA, service providers, service-based entrepreneurs need very similar things to what you need, right? They need an email newsletter. They need a website. They need an email address. There's a lot of similarities. They need Calendly set up. They need appointment scheduling, the very basic things that it takes to run your business. That is what they need as well. So by setting up your own business and learning the skills to set up that business, you will grow your skills organically. You'll understand it more deeply because you've actually performed it and are using it for your business. And then you can provide those same skills now to your clients. Now, the thing is you're going to learn new things all the time. When I started out, I knew, like, if my hand is all on my skills, I didn't even know my whole little fingernail. There were so many things. I knew Constant Contact. I knew my way around Microsoft Office. I knew a little HTML that I learned by creating a website for my nephew. I mean, I didn't know actually 75% of the things that are out there now, like Google, didn't exist 13 years ago. So if that's you, knock it off and just jump in, and you'll figure it out as you go. And for those of you who are in our community, in the VIP club, in VA school, we're right here. We can help you. We can help you. It's been very rare that someone comes to study hall or office hours and they have a technical problem and we can't solve it right there. It's very rare. Okay, good. So I want to tell you a little bit about the whole concept of niching as well, because I thought that I wanted to work with startups. I thought that was going to be really cool. It was going to be fun. But the problem was I didn't know anybody who had a startup. And when I met them, after looking and looking, I realized that most of them couldn't afford me. Their nephew was creating the logo, but he was a full-time college student and didn't have time except on the weekends, but he was in a fraternity, so that wasn't going to work. And it was just very frustrating. It was much better to make myself widely available so that entrepreneurs who could afford me would hire me. It was a much, much better situation. Okay. So let's talk about what diving in really means. All right. Let's talk about that. As you can imagine, I'm not talking about painting your office or cleaning off your desk or organizing your digital files. That, again, is all table setting. Okay. What I'm talking about when you're ready to get going is growing your email list. Growing your email list. Your email list is your hands down most valuable asset in your business. It's more valuable than your computer. And it gives you the ability to consistently stay in touch with the people that you know. So I want you to tell everyone you know about your business, and then stay in touch, just like I teach you in VA school and in the Kickstart training. Okay. And then you regularly want to meet new people by networking. Now, I don't have it handy, but if you go to thevaconnection.com and you scroll down a little bit on the page, you'll see 4 freebies right there. One of them is called Networking Secrets for Introverts or something like that. Definitely download that, and I explain step by step how to network, what to do before the event, after the event, how to find the events, all the things. So definitely download those, okay? So you want to continue to grow your list every single week. If you grow, I figured it out. So when I first started out, my list was probably around 100, 150 people. And right now and I haven't actively grown it for quite a while, my Rocket Girl Solutions list, but it's at 1,800. That's 2 or 3 names a week. That's not a lot of work. You can definitely grow it 2 or 3, names a week if you make it a priority. Now, all right. So the next thing I want to talk about is blocking time on your calendar. It's definitely going to be uncomfortable when you're not used to it. Let me turn that off. It's definitely going to be uncomfortable when you're not used to it. So just prepare for that. Prepare. And there's a tendency to make everything else in life more important than your business. It's just a tendency because it's much more comfortable to go help your husband find the thing, or, help your child with whatever, or make the bed. It's just easier, right? It's just much easier than sitting down at a computer and working on something that you may or may not love to do, that will grow your business. And the thing that's interesting is that it's uncomfortable now, but once you start doing it, your comfort zone is going to stretch, and it's going to be within your comfort zone to do this. All right. And it's going to take some time, but it's going to be worth it. Okay. So definitely block time. And if you're feeling, like I said, uncomfortable, afraid, all the emotions, it's okay. Just keep going. Just keep going. Because I want you to think about the alternative to not protecting your time, right? Not staring down your fear. It's giving up on your dream, right? It's in your dream to make the money you want, to work from home, to have time freedom, to do work that makes you happy, to be able to provide for other people. This is how you do it. And I know you can do it. I know you can do it. And you have to block the time to do it. I still have to do this. I still have to do it. It's something that happens every single day. All right. So any questions about any of this? So grow your list, block your time, focus on what's most important. And it's going to take some practice. I know when I first started my business, I was wasting a lot of time shopping online. I wasn't even buying anything. I didn't have any money, but I was just, every time I got an email from Zappos or, Amazon or whatever, I was clicking on the link and looking at whatever. And I was just wasting my time. And because I was scared and I didn't know what to do. And I didn't have, I didn't have the help that the students in VA school have. So I was wasting time, and I had to keep saying to myself, don't do that. And it took a long time to make that shift. And I still struggle with it. But the difference is that in the past, I would waste hours. Now I waste minutes, so I can notice, okay, you're feeling uncomfortable. You need to do this thing. Where are you going to start? I don't know. All right, jump in the middle, and then, and then narrow it down. All right, that's what it takes. All right, everybody. So get started now. Right now, I want you to stop and think, what can I do right now to take the next step in my business? Either start this red hot minute when we're finished here, or put it on your calendar. Set a reminder on your phone so that the time doesn't go by and you don't wonder about what happened. All the important things on my schedule are on my phone, and I set notifications. Otherwise, the linen closet would look great and my business would not. So keep that in mind. And if you haven't read it already, head over to the blog at the VA Connection. I wrote an article that was published on Monday all about how to say no, right? Because saying no is how you get to this. You have to say yes to the things that are important. You have to say no to the things that are not. All right, you guys, go get them. Go get them. Have a great rest of your week. If you are new to us and watching us someplace other than the Facebook group, head on over to our Facebook group, the VA Connection. We're just about to hit 35,000 members, and I'm not sure what the celebration is going to be, but there's going to be a celebration for sure. So get ready for that, and watch your feed and your email inbox for more news about when that's going to happen. Okay, good. Have a great rest of your week. Bye for now.